Hello there, Internet. So, last week Obsidian Ant did a video over whether or not Elite Dangerous has a content problem. And I'm going to say that Elite Dangerous doesn't have a content problem, it has an agency or lack of meaningful engagement with the universe itself problem. And this is just due to the way that the game has been designed, where NPCs control the economy completely, with very little interactions that you and your friends can do to have a meaningful impact on the greater universe. The Thargoids attack during the server downtimes. There's not really much you can do in way of trying to defend stations and other activities and things such as that when it comes to engaging with the storyline. It's all kind of haphazard peripheral things as opposed to lack of direct engagement. And it's been this problem as to why people have said, well, there's not a lot of end-game content, and that is true. The other part of it has to do with reward scaling at the latter stages of the game are off by a factor of at least 10 to 20. So it's one of those things that combine that all together, and people you hear, well, I've got 1,000 hours in the game, and now I'm bored to death because there's nothing to do. And they're supposed to be doing a deep dive, I believe, starting this week on the 7th of May on Squadrons and what people want to see from that. And my kind of opinion is Squadrons at this point is too little too late. It would have been nice to have had 3 or 4 years ago at this juncture. But if it's going to lack any type of meaningful engagement where the only thing to do is grind, and now it's, oh, you and your friends come together to grind a fleet carrier and supply it and build it and all of this type of things, which may not necessarily be a bad thing, but again, how is this going to have any lasting impact on the game universe itself? And I've said this many times throughout the years, that without a complete overhaul of how players can interact and have more of a meaningful impact on the galaxy, the background simulation, integrating power play in such a way that it actually makes sense instead of this bolted on, tacked on mechanic, I don't see where adding any of the squadron functionality is really going to bring anything new or different to the game. And at this point, that's not going to help or save Elite from a lot of longtime content creators, including myself, pretty much like, well, until something new, different, or interactions with the universe change, we've kind of been there, done that so many times that there's nothing really left to do. And I think that is kind of a shame. But of course, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. That's just kind of my opinion and take on the situation. But we'll see what starts to emerge with the ideas of what people want to see with the squadrons. Of course, the basic stuff of communications, chat tabs, stuff like that. It is going to bring people into system chats and stuff like that, spamming for join my squadron, clan, guild, whatever you want to call it. But again, if there's no way to build bases, have some sort of meaningful impact on being able to expand the universe via interaction with the background simulation without having to have Frontier manually act like game masters and do things like that, what new element of gameplay is this going to bring to the game? Now, if this is built in conjunction with a complete overhaul of the background simulation to where the BGS can increase and decrease the size of populations of systems and build new stations and have those stations grow and expand over time without having to have Frontier's interactions with community goals, or essentially just injecting that every week during the maintenance cycle, then maybe you're talking about something. But until we start to see changes like that, Elite is what it is, and I know that personally I'm taking a very close look at Dual Universe as potentially being that next game, because at this point, without any type of meaningful political and economic engagement into the game, there's really nothing left for me in Elite other than to fly around and look at pretty planets. And again, even if they were to add, let's say, the mysterious new add-on feature that people have to pay for unless you have a lifetime subscription, sort of, or premium beta status or alpha status. What's that going to really bring to the game? Okay, great, we fly down to the atmospheric type planets. They're pretty to look at, but what kind of meaningful engagement as far as gameplay is going to be included there? Is it just to be to unlock additional grind fest? I mean, that's kind of how it is with the whole Guardian stuff. Go collect all of these materials so that you can grind new weapons. That does kind of work in certain types of MMOs, but at the same time, without the squadrons or the clan guild mechanics, and without those clans and guilds having something to fight over, essentially, what's the point? Anyway, those are my thoughts on the subject. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment down below on your thoughts, and till then, see you next time.